Yeah. Oh, we're starting to push down. I think I might. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take off 50% at this point. I don't like what it's doing right now. It's pulling back hard if we are gonna continue bullish. Yeah, I think I'm gonna close 50%.
Did the same thing yesterday too. It came up and then made a wick above the resistance, came back down in the range, came back up again with another wick. Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah, so I'll close 50% and then I'm gonna see and let the other half run. If it hits stop loss, it hits stop loss.
In the range, came back up again with another wick.
Yeah, so I'll close 50% and then I'm gonna see and let the other half run. If it hits stop loss, it hits stop loss.
Yo, yo.
Yeah, it looks like we're about to. Yeah, I closed everything now at this point.
Yeah, I'm out of my trade. I had at the low of the 30-minute.
Yep, last night was great.
You chose a good day to stay off the charts, Paul.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
It was a rangy one.
That's what I heard.
Playing all sorts of games with us, breaking highs, breaking ranges, dipping back in.
Kind of like I was doing right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh well, yeah, I'm glad I got out of that one.
Yep, I just closed and I didn't close yet. Now I closed.
Looking at now hourly close.
Yep.
And possibly entering at the low of that.
Yeah, I like those. I preferred the sells, but the buys made sense for a nice 1-to-1.
This is the first 5 minutes of the fucking. Oops. This is the first 5 minutes of the 30, and they had no top wick. Still.
Yep, hourly made one though. So his hourly's got to close bearish. And then we'll be respecting this area. So that would have been kind of like our top daily wick.
Yep.
So daily did end up close bullish just one day later than I anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, if we see a break of support down at 132.800, then I'll be looking to take sales only at that point. But at this point, we're just back in the range, so.
I got him for sales once we broke the 30-minute low.
Nice.
They're a top week on the 30.
Nope.
No.
No.
I got my stop loss right above the 30-minute candle.
The current one?
Yeah, pretty tight.
Yeah. Yeah, if I ever play anything into the range, I keep my stops super tight like that.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a move down to the Just a
What's your-
1-to-1 down
What's
to
your
like,
target?
no, just a 1-to-1 down to 877.
I'm gonna come back in a minute while it's just doing its thing.
Could be a fake out.
Oh wow, GJ's dropping. Yeah, this sort of setup is a good setup. It just happened to just not play out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just down to probability at the end of the day. And I think that's what you have to remember is, you know, when you have a strategy, there's always that flip side that 20 or 30 or 40% of the time you will lose. So that's where you have to keep your lot sizes depending on the day, or you know, they have to be consistent. Otherwise you don't know when the loss or the win is going to come.
Yep, consistent on everything. Yo.
Well, let me like the stream before I forget.
Paul, if you don't mind, could you go on the daily real quick?
Yep.
Just want to run something by you. Yeah, so I was thinking that obviously it's not gonna happen in this session, but looking at yesterday how we made a lower low with the wick or a lower high with the wick,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think today if we get that little push down, then we could probably fill up not yesterday but the day before where you have that little rectangle, and then for like long term by the end of the week we could probably hit that 132 area support.
Yep, 100%. It's just like what we talked about. Was it Monday? Was the last day? We talked about looking for this to happen right here, and that's exactly what happened. So now we would fall down to support, ideally.
Yeah, I just want to see like, and also like show like how the lower time frames kind of work together to fulfill the longer time frames or the higher time frames. Like on weekly, we're kind of bullish, but
Yep.
we're creating that top wick, and we're pretty much just coming back down to that 129 area, 130, 129 area on the weekly.
100%, right there with you.
Yeah, I don't think the economy is going to do so well either. I think the yen could gain a lot of strength as well in the next month or two.
Thank you, Raul. Appreciate it. Good bullish next to us? Yeah. If we hit that daily support, that could take us bullish. I think if this hourly close is bearish, be nice sells to that daily wick fill. What up, JB? Sell entry should be at hourly close. I did take an aggressive entry on these sells. I threw a position at it. But I believe we're coming down. But I think the safe, smarter entry is wait for this hourly to close bearish if we do, and then once you get a new hourly low, target that wick fill. Be a really, really good entry. Thank you. Yep, anniversary was yesterday.
I just got off the break even since we weren't moving down to support yet.
Yep, hourly's gonna gotta close first. Entry 937. So right here, right when it like 5 minutes ago, when it kind of like spiked back a little bit up to here, this little resistance or support, hopefully turning resistance. I got in there and I just got a stop loss above the hourly because I'm anticipating we are coming to fill that daily wick. That's why those buys we had didn't work out. Because we closed above everything, made a high, higher low, 3 higher lows in a row. Hourly was all bullish. We had some clean traffic up to this area, and it didn't happen. So the reasoning is because I think we're coming down. So with that idea, I got in some earlier sells, but got an hourly stop loss, and I'm gonna risk my second trade for the session on that idea. So we'll see what happens.
Paul, are you in sells right now?
Yep. Yeah, I threw an early aggressive one in just because that's what I was anticipating the whole time, but the buys made sense for a quick 1-to-1. So I just jumped in. I figured I would just risk my second Asian session trade, and if it hits stop loss, then I guess I'm done for the session.
Cool. No, I was gonna say I'll give buys another chance only if this 30-minute closes above 132 980, all that resistance. If this candle does come up and close above, then if it breaks the highs, then I'll be looking to take buys for the second chance. But at this point, I am not looking to take anything. I'll take sells if we get below 132 840, but I'll only take sells below that area there. But yeah, I think the sells could work out, especially with your entry, because if you look on the hourly, it probably could come down and fill that hourly wick.
Down here?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that one broke the low, and now we're kind of pulling to it.
Yeah. I think if we set up below support for open, will be nice. And then I'll give sells one try, and then I'll be calling it a session.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just pretty confident in these. Looking at the daily, I liked the sells over the buys, but buys fit my plan, so I took it. Lost. So now taking the sells, because the 2 hours looking like we're going to close bearish, which would then mean I could take some sells. So plus our previous 4 hours bearish, so if I use the 4 hour rule, then I could use that, because this would kind of be like our little rocket ship candle. We broke above, and now we should come and break the low, but we obviously didn't do it yet. Just with how Asian session moves, that's what I'm anticipating.
Yeah, hope it plays out. Did you have a good night last night, Paul?
It was phenomenal.
Good for you. Good for you, bro.
Yeah, it was well needed time away from my phone and some alone time. It was good.
Sorry, was someone else about to speak?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I'm gonna give my sell a second chance after getting out for break even if we break this current 15-minute low.
Remember, we are coming to an hourly close, so you could see a bigger wick.
Last time frame.
A bigger wick than like a normal 15-minute candle would make.
In my pullback.
Yeah, because it'll be an hourly close, so you're gonna get an hourly wick. So just incorporate your stop loss into anticipating some sort of top hourly wick to make sure you don't get wicked out and then it continues.
Guys, if you look at the 2 hours time frame, so it seems like it came down to make a wick and now going back. So maybe it's a bullish.
I don't know, because it already made the low, and then it made a high, and then we pulled back, and then we looked at break down the hourly. This hourly never closed above. This one broke all the highs with a bottom wick, and then pushed up. But we look at the daily, that's more than likely going to be our, if we look on the 30-minute, it's clear, that's going to be kind of like our daily top wick.
Is someone in the cell?
Yeah, I'm in it. I think a couple people, there's 2 other people in it or so. Yeah, I jumped in a little early, but looking at the daily and how Asian normally moves, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely makes sense with our daily 4 hour outlook for the week.
We called it on Monday or Sunday.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's playing out very well.
That's why I think this sell makes a lot of sense. Even though it's kind of messy where we're going into, if you just read
Yeah, so,
individual candles
uh-huh.
and focus on that higher time frame.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because the 30-minute doesn't look great by any means. It looks a little messy. But if we look at the hourly, we just got 3 nice candles coming up, all pretty weak. This hourly looks like it could close bigger than any of what these 3 hourly candles could do. Then maybe we have some more momentum to the downside than the upside. So, and if it does run to support before the close, even better. We can get break even right away. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm anticipating right now. I want to see a quick push down the support, and yeah, just get break even.
yeah. And this daily should pull too. So there, I got my runner target, I think, down at this wick here. So, 4 hour has now flipped back bearish as well. So, possible if we break this low, that would be kind of like our rocket ship candle. So we see this on the 30-minute a lot. We get kind of like a weaker close. Then we get a wick above. Momentum, it's always with momentum. Momentum's down. Get that wick above, and this one normally has a wick to gum fill, and then we kind of drive back towards it. And the other thing you could look at is we broke all of these highs with some pretty clean traffic for like, 10 pips, 15 pips, maybe 20 pips up to here. Why are we breaking these lows now? Kind of thing.
I'm gonna go make a drink quick.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a minute.
I'm definitely going to manage risk on this trade.
I think I don't see any reason for us to return here if we're coming up. And if that's the case, why didn't we go up the first time? Like we closed above the wicks. I don't look at that, but we closed above the highest points we could even get.
Yeah.
And we made a high with a higher low.
Yeah.
With nothing to the left and maybe a little bit of an issue here, but we still had 7 more pips. Why? Kind of thing. So if this, and looking at the daily, stop loss is at the top of the daily wick. If we do run this daily all the way up, which I don't see happening, then we get stopped out. But I think odds are in our favor to come down. Because look at the size of that candle. It has 4 more minutes, and it's bigger than that entire previous 30-minute candle.
Yeah, I mean, if we were going to go up, like,
We should have been going up.
we had the close above right there on the 30-minute. So, like, why are we breaking lows at this point?
You can't say there's no wick at the bottom because it hasn't closed yet, so you don't know if there's a wick at the bottom yet, Leeds. Nope, Chinese has a holiday. I saw that too. Yep, exactly. Gotta wait for it to close to know if it's gonna have that, bottom wick or not. Because it's still moving right now, so.
your runner. If we get this move down, the runner target is the daily wick fill.
Yep. The bullish one, yes.
Mhm. Oh yeah, because if we're gonna come down to the bearish one, we'll probably hit the bullish one as well, huh?
Yeah, if we fill it and break below, that's what I would expect. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting too how the previous hour broke the low of the one before that.
Mm-hmm. So it's like we're just pulling to it.
I took a sell where it breaks the previous 15 minutes wick. I took a sell there. I
Nice.
wanted to be more conservative and careful.
Where'd you put your stop loss?
Stop loss is as yours.
Oh, top of the hourly?
Yeah.
Perfect. I think that looks good. Yeah, if you have
I
a 7 pip
wanted
spread, I would avoid Asian.
crossing the previous 15 minute.
15, yeah, looks. So yeah, that one closed with no bottom wick, but I think we're just super strong bearish. 4 hours already flipped and almost broken the low that it's made previously. So if we mark this 4 hour made this low right here, and then it broke the high. So why did it make a higher low and a higher high to return to the higher low? So we'll see what happens, but I think we are in a good spot to keep coming down.
I think we got on a good seat.
Yep, good. I think we got a good entry, good stop loss. I think we are, if we're coming down, I believe we are safe. I feel good about it. If it hits stop, then it's probably just going to be a shit session and it's not going to go anywhere. So,
Yeah.
because we had potential to go up, and we couldn't go up. Now we're coming down. If we can't go down, then we can't go anywhere. So, we got an hour till Asian Tokyo Open. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. How do you identify? So, the way I look to identify kind of like a crap area is price should make higher highs and higher lows. If it's not doing that on the 15, 30, and the 1 hour, or a combination of them, probably a little bit of a sketchy area. So I mean, even here, higher low to here, higher low, higher low. This one broke the low, made a higher high, didn't close above, broke the high again, and then closed bearish. So this could be kind of a messy area, but higher time frame analysis is kind of what I'm looking at. But we'll see what happens. So, but if you're just looking to, like, this is not a great area. So if you're waiting for a close, I mean under here or under here, I think that is a great idea. Like I said, this was aggressive, so. GJ 149, 6. Yeah, I don't know about all that. 149, yeah. I wouldn't hold my breath, that's for sure. Not this week. I'm gonna go finish my food real quick and then I'll be back. Yep, and then I'll check out yesterday's range.
Yo, I'm back. Wow, looks like GJ's ranging right now. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. No, just because I was getting a response, I was thinking, oh, better not. My internet better not be down. Oh, Paul's not here.
They just stepped away for some food.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I think GJ is ranging right now. I personally think that if we're coming down, we will break below 132, say 840, and Asian Open should push us down to say 132, 650, or we'll come down and fill that wick at 132, 680.
Someone's definitely sleeping. And these charts are going to put me to sleep too. So I've done some kind of back testing just on this current hour we're in right now versus the full Asian Open. And 72% of the time, whatever push we have in this hour is reversed in the Open. So I only went back, I went back a lot further, but I only actually tracked it to numbers for the last 20 days. And 72% of the time, it reverses from whatever move we have in this hour. So definitely something that I have started to notice and started to backtest and take a look at.
Interesting.
So you suggesting that maybe we're coming back up?
So I honestly, I'm just starting to look at the charts now. I've got my MT5 open and see it's still in range, so I've been paying attention. But just overall, it's something that I'm going to start to pay attention to, that there's a high probability that whatever hour move we make in this current hour is likely to be rejected or reversed in the full Asian Open in the next hour.
I agree with that.
That makes sense.
With certain exceptions.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, it's not a
Because-
sure thing or anything.
Yeah, because typically this candle, we get 1 to 2 more pushing up on like the hourly, like you're saying, and then we rip down. We don't normally get this early. So I think today, I mean, maybe if the hourly closes weak bullish or weak bearish and we break the low, we come down, that would kind of void that out. But I think in previous weeks we have definitely done that, but we haven't done this either.
Hmm.
We've had that nice push up.
Yeah, and I didn't go into kind of like what the 2 previous hour candles were doing before this one and the next one. I kind of just looked at these 2 hours specifically, but
Yeah.
something interesting I noticed.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely see that. I mean, typically whichever 30-minute high or low we break to the previous 30-minute is where open takes us, almost
Mhm.
every time.
Yeah.
But I feel like you need a little more strategy than that to trade.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's not going to be an indicator for a trade for me. Just kind of something to keep in the back of the mind.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean you. I just meant like in general, like because you probably could just trade Asian, right at open. If you break up or down, that's where you go, and it'll probably work. But I feel like there can be more thought into it.
Definitely.
For just people listening, that I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah.
I don't hear any snoring.
It's gone now, but there's definitely someone.
Okay.
While you stepped away.
Gotcha. 544. I wonder if we're gonna hit 800 today. Yeah, I'd like to see this break through these 2 wicks here. But typically Asian Open does the move, yeah. So definitely breaking this hourly wick would be really something I want to see. Chinese holiday, JPY. We can probably even take this down to support here. Nice little almost 3 to 1. I mean, I risked about 10 pips. Yeah, about 10. I think the weekly might flip. Weekly. Yes, I do. I do think our weekly will be. I mean, if we do close bullish, I think the next one is just going to come and break the low. But we don't really know exactly what's going to happen. But based on the structure of the daily, I would expect us to end up at least at this support or have touched it and reacted either back up or down from it. But with tomorrow being Thursday, yeah, I don't know. It depends how much volume we have. Thursday is typically a really good day, but Wednesday is also typically a good day, and it looked like New York just kind of kicked everyone in the dick today. Yeah, it doesn't look fun. So, you never know. Typically Wednesday, Thursdays, or Fridays are sometimes pretty good too, but Wednesday, Thursday is definitely your better days, and the fact that it kind of did that for the whole New York session, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'd expect daily to fall to support. Do I trade during the interchange? No. Never. Unless I'm holding a tiny position as like a runner. Then I would. So like if this if this rips all the way through here, and we end up kind of in here like after 30 minutes to an hour into Asian Open, then I'm probably going to leave a little bit to run since my entry was up here. But that would be the only time I hold a position like that through a swap. But yeah, make sure if you haven't, you like the stream, so we can give away some fun stuff, make you a better trader. Do I need to have at least on viewer? I don't know. It's pretty simple to get set up for the most part. I would just try Googling it or go on YouTube and they'll teach you how. Yeah, that makes sense, Sharma. My steps on how and when to enter a trade. So for mine, it's super simple. The only thing I'm looking for is a 30-minute or 1 hour new high or low to the previous, and then I look to see what's to the left. So this buy we took, I took it above this hourly, which was the highest wick made of all of these candles. Clean traffic to the left. Stop loss on the candle with the idea that we made a higher high. We should not come and make a lower low if we're going up. Turns out we weren't going up, so we got stopped out. But the only thought process was 2 hour was bullish. We had clean traffic to the left, so I look for a new high, anticipating that the higher time frame continues in that direction. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's it. Through 2-3 steps, pretty simple. Yeah, typically Wednesday or Thursday Asian session sets up a really big move into London and New York. Let me see if I can find it last week. I think last week it was Thursday. That was a nasty New York. I believe it was. No, where was it? So was this last week, the 15th? Should have been last week, yeah. So yeah, I think it was this. I think this was 17th. I think that was Thursday. Nope, that was Wednesday. So Wednesday, if you got your entry up here, you could have caught this entire drop at break even. Maybe you got wicked out on this guy or this guy, but if you had entry still at break even, you were good and you caught all of it. So Asian, typically 1 or 2 days a week, we get a really nice move that really sets up good into London and New York session, and it's typically Wednesday or Thursday. So the way the daily looks now, I'd kind of expect today to be, if we come down, that the daily should set up really nice with some good entries in Asian to kind of hold into London and New York session. But with that being said, you need to pick targets that make sense. So it's Wednesday. We have 2 days left, Thursday, Friday. Makes sense. We tap into support. But does it make sense to put a TP down here or to go onto the monthly and set a TP down here? Probably not. You'll probably get stopped out. So you got to be logical with where we are in the week and kind of what you're looking for. Because targeting down there for Thursday, Friday, probably not going to happen. There's maybe a very slim chance, but you definitely don't have the probability on your side for sure. So when you're picking targets and you're leaving them from Asian to New York or London or whatever it is, or the next day Asian, you got to make sure that makes sense. Does it make sense for GJ to fall 800 pips, 1,000 pips in 2 days? Probably not. Does it make sense to maybe fall 100 or 200? I think you got a better chance of hitting that than 800 to 1,000. But also depends on your trading style. If you're holding the trade for a month, maybe that does make sense. If you're looking to hold for a day, 24 hours, probably doesn't make sense. So you just gotta be logical with your thought process. What up, John? Yeah, 5 and 15 minute. I think your hourly is going to be more important, and your 4 hour and your daily is going to make more sense. So when you see messy areas like this, if you go back and you study what the higher time frame did, the higher time frame made perfect sense to come down, but on the 30 minute and the 1 hour where you're entering, didn't look super great. But the way you can kind of capitalize on that, I would say use 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, and look to time it kind of at like the best spot. So like a hourly new low or new high, depending on where you're going, because the daily makes perfect sense that we should fall to the wick, maybe down to support. But on the 30 minute, it's kind of like, well, are we gonna bounce off of here? Are we gonna bounce kind of off of here? Like what? There's a lot going on in here, so that's why I like to just look at the candles. And ideally, clean traffic to the left is preferred, but look at our hourly. We do have hourly clean candles, so technically we do. It just gets messier the smaller the time frame you go. So if we look at the 5 minute, this looks awful. But if we look at the hourly, looks like we're bearish at resistance and we're going to follow the support. Look at the daily, looks like we're going to get a daily wick fill. We have our top wick created, and if we look in 30 minute, we can see this 30 minute created the top wick and we have this massive bearish candle. So it probably makes more sense to continue coming down, otherwise why didn't we go up? 1 hour, same thing. 2 hour, 2 hours bearish, so new 2 hour low, maybe take an entry, stop loss on whatever 2 hour wick you have. That probably makes sense to kind of target this wick with this wick, maybe down to this support here. I would even maybe say something right here. Yeah, well, let's see what the 30 minute looks like. Yeah, I think down here would be maybe a possible runner target, but clearly we need to get through this mess first, and hopefully Asian Open will just push us through, if not sooner. How do you get consistent? I would say just do it every day and get some sort of mentor or group to be a part of, to kind of guide you through the nonsense. Yep. Plus, you're looking at the candles. That bearish one's twice the size of that previous bullish one, which closed above resistance with a high and clean traffic. But the higher time frame, 4 hour daily, are bearish. So maybe this session is going to go bearish once we get that little burst of volume, if we get any at all.
Is there not many people on the Zoom tonight?
I guess not.
We need to get a discussion going.
Spark it up. What do you
I
got?
can't-
I've been babbling for a minute.
Anything.
A minute.
Give us a topic and we'll discuss trading. That's relevant.
Let's see. How do you look at support and resistance? I mean, I feel like yours is probably going to be similar to what I do, but
yeah. So,
but maybe you have something like support and resistance and confirmations for you to enter. What are you looking for in terms of in terms of the higher time frame? So we'll kind of go up what we're doing today.
yeah. So what are you trying to say? If I was anticipating a 4 hour to go bullish, how that should look on a smaller time frame?
Yep, something like that.
Well, similar to what we've seen tonight, because obviously we've had a range, we've had a resistance established, and then you get the breakout candle. So I anticipated that because we got above the wicks and then we had the clean traffic, I could grab 10 pips and that we were going to tap into 133, 100. But unfortunately, the probability just wasn't there. But most of the time, that's going to work. I'm going to take that every time. That, do you know what I mean? That's
100%. Yeah, that was a phenomenal.
Yeah, and if that was like a New York session, we could have had a really deeper. You know what I mean? Just in a different session, you can get. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't happen in Asia. What I'm saying is like we don't always see them sort of big.
New York would have gave us more of a push as the daily candles kind of set up and it's not kind of creating itself.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that's one thing that makes Asian kind of funky at times.
Yeah, like if we're coming down, it won't go booming up to come all the way back down. If that makes sense. It will just tap into key areas, and I thought it might come up and retest that support at 131, 133, 115.
I did too. Yep. So there was actually a question in the chat, since I did kind of enter in the range. I kind of provided my points on it, but he said, how do you know when to enter in a range? What's your thoughts on that? Because I kind of went over mine, and maybe you'll say something and it'll make it make sense for someone with a different perspective.
Yeah, from my perspective, I wouldn't get in the range, only because my thought process is that over the longer term, you're going to see a better win rate by just being more patient and allowing price to give you the confirmations that we actually are coming down or we are actually breaking up, because anywhere in the range is 50-50. Whether you think higher time frame, sometimes you are going to miss out, but that's where you can look at wicks and you just look at price, and you got to really understand what's going on, and if we break past this, where are we going to head to, where's our next target, and then you can measure that out. And that's more planning than just saying, right, I'm in the range. I suppose we'd say today's example, it did a fake out, but had this been just completely ranging, say on a normal day, I would think, it's more of a gamble than to say that it's which way it's going to break, because you don't really know.
Yep. If we wouldn't have broken up, then I would not have jumped in early like I did.
Yeah, I would say that's justified in the fact that the way the candle closed, we should have broken up, but then this may have been like a fake out, as in we don't have that bullish momentum at all to get up to that level. So now the buy bias is done for the minute until we're back above resistance.
Paul, do you have any rules on a size of range if you're trying to enter? Because like I've got this at like 15, maybe 18 pip range, if you kind of, depending on where you draw that bottom support. Do you have any rules yourself on range? Because for me personally, it's just one of my trading rules. I won't trade in a range unless I've got a 30 pip range to try and get my 10 or 12 pips out of.
Yeah, typically if it's ranging, I do just stay out, but because we did break up and we didn't go up, makes me believe that this daily is going to be going with the daily. Otherwise, I feel like we should have been going up. But typically, a 15 pip range without this break up, I would be waiting for either a close under here or under here, because the highs and lows don't get respected inside of these ranges, and that's literally like, those are my entries and my stop losses, and if that's not getting respected, then my probability drops, and that's not good. But if it's like a 30-40 pip range with a clean candle, depending on the range, I probably wouldn't even consider that a range. But depending, like last week, when it was that 40 pip of like literal shit, that I
Yeah.
would consider a range. But if it's kind of moving, highly doubt I'll find an example, but like if it's moving like this, like I wouldn't consider that a range, or this I would consider a range because that's ugly. But even like from this support up to here, I would if I can catch a move, I'd try to catch a move because these two candles are clean, regardless of what's over here. This is more so what I'm focused on. It's situational, just based on, I would say, more experience than anything. Is just kind of oh, like there's a range I've taken before and I've lost. Okay, I'll sit this one out. Or, oh, I've caught this move before because of this and this. And like there's exceptions and circumstances that change that, but typically if it is just like a 10-20 pip range, I'll just kind of wait or just not even get up for the session. I'll just stay in bed.
Yeah. And so you're seeing that bullish 30, you're seeing that close above and then rejection? Like if that 30 closed inside the range, would you still have taken it, or are you only getting into this because you saw that 30 close above and then get rejected above the range?
Oh, so we were actually in these buys. I actually got in the buys once the hourly broke.
Yeah.
The stop loss here and then got stopped out. So I thought that we should have respected this and gone up because of this candle, and we didn't. So, and
Gotcha.
the fact that we didn't, and this kind of just looks like it made that top daily wick. So a lot of like what I've seen in Asian, typically when that kind of stuff happens, that and the daily looks like it does, that's just where that top daily wick is. We shouldn't return there, and we should kind of fall to whatever support or target we have mapped out that's close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think that if price can get below 132.775, that's the like kind of last support, I suppose, in the sense that once we get there, then I think it's coming down to fill the wick.
Thomas the Jokester, just DM me on Instagram. We don't people aren't here to talk about that, so if you want to talk about it, just DM me. Instagram's on the bottom left, and I can give you all that information directly. A lot of people are just here to for other reasons, so we're not going to make this a commercial or an ad or a marketing each stream. Breaks a 15 min low. It should be a go. Okay.
Man, I've had a rough session.
What happened?
So I've taken 2 sells, and I'm just not letting my trades breathe enough because both of them would have hit 1-to-1 risk rewards at this point. Without even going halfway to my stop loss.
Were you using the 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'm using tight stops on the 15.
Yep. So that's what I was saying earlier. When you're in these ranges like this, those stop loss, like when it makes a new low with the wick created already, there's less chance that that's going to be respected. It'll probably come wick up an extra pip or two and then continue in the direction. So that's why the cleaner traffic makes sense for those kind of entries. But when it's in this like mess, unless you have like above a previous hourly or something like that, or 30-minute, there's a good chance that you will, with those stop losses that we usually do, that you'll kind of get slapped around in this kind of area. That's why I put mine where I did.
Yeah, when it's on its clean traffic.
Yep. Yeah, those ones tend to, it'll break the low and then come right back up an extra few pips and then come right back down. It just really messes around, so I'll kind of pick a different stop loss. But like we did here, I just put it above the previous hourly because I don't believe we should return there, but never know. But the analysis is that we should come down.
Yeah, I mean, um, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Um, I mean, even then, like I don't like like you're right. It probably would have been way smoother if I just threw it up higher.
Yep.
But I kind of like tight stop losses. Um, I don't know. I find that like on this trade, I would have I wasn't. I was literally like one pip in drawdown on the first one, and I closed, and then it went back into profits, and then it continued all the way to my 1-1. So it went one pip in my direction, and I closed and let it go halfway to my stop loss. And then the second one, it also went one pip against me, and I closed, and then it immediately went back to a 1-1. So, I mean, I think.
So that was on you, not your stop loss.
Yeah, it's on me. I'm not even letting it go halfway to my stop loss, and I'm closing them, and I'm not letting the trades breathe.
Yep.
Or else I would be in a really good spot right now, but I took 2 small losses, which I didn't need to take.
Yep. So that's with those stop losses like we do like on the current candle. That's like as tight as you can do it. So you really kind of give away any breathing room or minimizing room you have. So with those ones, you get really, really good R to R, but you're going to have a little bit higher percentage of that stop loss kind of getting hit. But the R to R being so much greater is going to win every time, hands down. You just have to let it breathe, like all the way to your stop or all the way to your take profit. You can't, with those kind of stops, it's really hard to minimize unless price kind of goes your way for a 15 and lets you minimize it. But like when you first enter, you need at least a 15 before you can do any sort of minimizing, which is the downfall of that kind of entries. But the upside is incredible R to R to R.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it probably won't have as high of a win rate, but I think definitely creating a rule right now, like don't start minimizing until it goes halfway to stop loss instead of like 20% of the way to stop loss.
I mean, if you're using the stop loss on the current candle, I mean, there's not much you can minimize. To be honest, I mean, I would say maybe previous 5-minute candles, but even then, like, it's really taken away any. You're lowering the odds of hitting that TP by keeping it so tight. Yeah, because I mean, where you put it on the current candle when it breaks lows like that, or highs, vice versa, is really as tight as you can go. I mean, if you find something else different, then let us know. But I think other than that, and maybe managing on the 5-minute, but then again, you need it to kind of go in your direction a little bit before you can even try to minimize it on the 5-minute. You need at least 5 to 10 minutes before you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just try to be more confident in those ones you do take, and maybe it was because of what's to the left you were less confident. So then just don't trade in these areas for the next ones, and that'll have your confidence higher, and you won't do that.
Hey, Paul, at what point are you moving stop losses to break even? I've had a few this week that it just came up and whipped it and then fell in my direction, and I was out of the trade. I'm wondering if maybe I'm throwing them in a little early. Wondering where you throw them at break even.
I heard you. Can you say that again and louder, please? It's really quiet.
Sorry about that. Is this
No, you're
better?
good.
I was just wondering at what point you put your stop losses at break even, because I've had a few basically wick my stop loss, right at break even, and then completely fall in my direction. And I'm thinking maybe I'm putting them up a little bit too early.
Yeah, you could be. I typically go 1-to-1. So if I risk 10 pips, once I hit 10 pips and I secure something, I go break even. But if I am holding to a 2-to-1, I will wait till I hit 2-to-1, and then I'll just manage it. So if it starts to go, like if I'm trying to target 20 pips, risking 10, and it kind of falls 15, 16, and then starts to stall and turn around, maybe instead of closing the 80% like I planned, I'll close 50 and then go break even. but more than likely it is always 1-to-1 or when I secure something. So when you take money off the table, then leave the rest risk-free. That's kind
Gotcha.
of what I do. So if I don't secure anything, unless I'm going 3-to-1, 4-to-1, and it just looks super safe, then I'll maybe trail behind the previous candles, or just leave it till I hit that target and then make the rest risk-free. So, does that help?
Yeah, that's great. Appreciate it.
Yeah, let me know how that goes, like next week or whenever you try it.
Yeah, for sure, we'll do. I think another issue though is that like I'm not really going. I think I'm going for a little more than I should be too. I'm not really taking profits. I guess I'm noticing reviewing my trades at 1-to-1. I'm switching from basically swing trading, which really wasn't working for me. So I might have that mentality of going for too many pips.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
Yeah, that was my background. I had some issues.
Going for too much.
Yeah, like sometimes if you see 8 to 12 pips, it's like as a swing trader, your mentality, you're thinking, oh, that's not enough. But you got to think like with your tight stops and stuff, you got to be, you know, taking 50 to 80% off and then put it to break even. And if it runs, it runs.
Yep. Yeah. Because when you're scalping, you're trying to get in and out as quick as possible. If you're scalping and you secure at 1-to-1, but that 1-to-1 is 40 pips, you got to remember you risked 40 pips too. Versus here, if you get 5 pips but you risked 5, it's the same thing. It's just less pips, but still 1-to-1, so the same like percentage. I think this looks good. Waiting for GJ to break below this 1 hour level for downtrend continuation. I think that makes sense. Looks good. Yeah. I think you could have a better stop loss, but that might just be for visual. Because here again, we've done this before. I've probably even done it on your chart, if you've sent a lot of charts. But right now, you're risking this much to make this much. So it's a little bigger, but not by much. But if you get your stop loss, let's say here, and you take it to the same target, you just made, this is what, maybe 1.5-to-1, and this is like 4 or 5-to-1. So same trade, just better stop loss, maximizing that target you have. But obviously you want to make sure the stop loss makes sense. If your stop loss that makes sense is up here, then that's where you got to have it. But then I would maybe look for a bigger long-term target if that's not what's underneath that we can't see. So stop loss placement is really big. For what I've learned is you can maximize that stop loss and turn a 1-to-1 into 2-to-1. That's going to be much better.
So I'm following my plan right now. So I took one trade earlier about an hour ago. So I waited an hour. I think I'm going to give another shot. I think we could see an impulse move right now down, because right now we're at 1 hour support, but why are we still making lower lows? So I'm going to try to give another shot once we kind of tap below the prior low again right now in the 30-minute.
And what kind of stop you're gonna use?
Well, I'm anticipating that we're just gonna go right now. You can see a nice move in the last 15 minutes of the hour. So I'm gonna use a really tight stop like I usually do, like what's working for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna throw it right above the current 15, anticipating that if we don't go right now, then I'm gonna manage risk.
Okay. What about if you wait for this hourly to break and you use that stop loss there and you target that support right there? Then you'll have a safe trade, because remember, we do have an hourly open coming. So So you don't want to get wicked out again.
So you said if once it breaks the hourly low?
This previous hourly wick here, which is right at support, which would then be continued lower lows, lower highs, but now we have some higher time frame confirmation. Just an idea, or maybe even, because yeah, that's the, kind of this wick here, and it's already broken below here, so I think using the stop loss here, you should have got in when it did the original break, because now it kind of, I mean, it still makes sense, but yeah, just...
Yeah, hourly, like higher time frame wicks being broken definitely gives more confirmation.
Yeah.
And you're trading on the 15, Dorian?
Yeah, I'm trading on 15 and 30 minute. Well, I just look at the 30 minute, like, yeah, look at the 30 minute, look at the hour, look at the 4 hour for, you know, for like, you know, probabilities. Like,
Okay.
right now we're at 1 hour support, but we're making lower lows in the 15 minute. Shouldn't we be making higher highs? So.
Well, so I've got this support range kind of drawn in like the 820 to 840 range.
Mm-hmm.
And on the 15, there's like if you look in the 15, it's like just tapping into a really strong support on the 15 too. But even on the 30, that support's been rejected a few times.
Yeah, but then, so this previous one here tapped into it, correct? This one right here?
Yeah, so it's kind of tricky where you draw it. So I might mainly look at the 30. I was just going to touch on the 15 because he was mentioning a 15 entry. But the support here, yeah, whether you leave that fake out there, then yeah, that's technically where I'd see that support. Right where you just drew it there, yeah.
Yep. So this one kind of tapped into whatever, all these wicks over here.
Yeah.
So then the next thing for what I do is if we're coming to a support, which should push price up, we should make higher highs and higher lows. So maybe if this one doesn't get below here and it starts breaking up, then maybe we are at a support that takes us up, but we don't make lower lows and lower highs into support. So I think if this did break this candle, we're going to see a push through support. Would be my argument to that. Plus we're coming in closer to open, so we could see some unnecessary, unplanned pullback. So I think your hourly close will be your best bet, and also getting below this wick is going to be, because this one clearly tapped into the support and drove up. So if we break that, this was kind of like higher low, higher low, higher low. If we break this, we now have that higher time frame lower low to then break through support, which is why I think we're pulling back right now. It's because we just came to that wick we didn't break yet.
Yeah.
So, yep. But I see the support. I just see it a tad bit differently. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Too soon for BE? You could. I'm gonna wait for this hourly close and see what happens at open.
That's all. I'm done for the day.
Yeah, I don't see anything on the weekly. I see something maybe down here, but daily 4 hour looks good. And like I said, if price does go up, then I don't think this session will be really going anywhere. So.
I started the week really good, but today I just pretty much gave everything back. So I'm a little bummed about that, but I don't know. That's how it goes.
Yeah, still got Thursday, Friday. As long as you managed your risk and you didn't overtrade, I think that's also something to keep in the back of your head.
Yeah. Did overtrade this morning. So what happened was I placed one buy, and then it didn't work out. So I tried a re-entry, and that didn't work out. And then I tried a third trade on the same idea. So that was the overtrade. The second re-entry, the re-entry, that's okay. Because I'm giving my idea another shot. But the third trade, that's just unnecessary. That's an overtrade.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was really pissed off at myself for doing that, because when you overtrade, what you're doing is you're pretty much saying, like, like, after all the time you put into this, you're not treating it seriously. You're not treating it like business.
Mm-hmm.
You're treating it like it's whatever. You're fulfilling your,
like it's a game.
What's up?
You're treating it like it's a game, not a career.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And it's just at that point, it's not fun. It's not enjoyable.
100%.
Yeah, guys, I had a pretty bad week a couple weeks ago. I was blue Monday to Thursday, and on 1 hour on Friday, I gave back all my profits plus 5% in 1 hour. Just a blow up day I had, and it kind of made me realize that a losing day is not bad at all. Like it's fine. You can come to grips with that and come back the next day. But I had to claw back all of that for a whole week because of one, bad emotional hour.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's why we always say don't make a bad day a bad week. Same thing,
Yeah.
Don't make a bad week a bad month.
Exactly.
Yep, gotta keep protecting it. If you're up for profit for the first 3 weeks of the month, and Monday through Friday you take a 1% loss every day, but those previous 3 weeks you had a 1 to 2% gain every day, you'll still be able to pay yourself at the end of the month. And the more you overtrade that crappy week, the less you get, pretty much.
This week's been a pretty rangy one for GJ too. These last couple of days have definitely not been the cleanest of momentum.
Yeah, it's been a little messy. I think it's the past 3 weeks it's been 1 or 2 days a week. GJ has just been very mean to put it in layman's terms. It was not fun. And that's something I realized about 3 weeks ago, is when GJ gets like that, I'll just come back tomorrow. Like I'm not gonna sit there for 3 hours and watch nothing happen, or I'm gonna watch a move I do like, but it's in the nasty area, so I don't take it, and it goes right to target, and then I'm like, well, what the fuck? Then like it's just both ways. It's like it's in a crappy area, so you gotta force that trade. So you leave it because you're trying to follow your plan and be good. And then it works out perfectly and hits TP in a few minutes, plus more. And then you're like, oh, I should have taken it. I'll take the next one. And then the next one you take doesn't work. So it's better just come back the next day when it's not moving like crap. Otherwise you just sit there for 3 hours, 2 hours, and you just don't do anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that happened to me 2 weeks ago. I think I talked about it with you guys. I was 0-7 or 0-9 on like a Wednesday, and I brought it back, but I didn't do anything different. I just did everything the same risk, same targets, same time to go BE, same secure position. Just all about those probabilities. So if your setup truly does work consistently, then if you start out 0-7 for the week, just keep chugging along. Don't do anything stupid, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, you really got to have confidence in what your strategy is to continue chugging along after 7 losses in a row. Because I think most retail traders, like especially the newer ones, would just like change their strategy if they incur like 7 losses in a row or 8 losses in a row. But yeah.
I heard Raja say something earlier on the New York session that it was accept the fact that you could exit this trade because you weren't comfortable and it could carry on in your direction, and you could just watch it knowing that you did have the analysis right. It's something that I needed to hear because it definitely, was always hard for me to not jump back in emotionally, but it's definitely something that I've been working on.
Yep, that's just doing that over and over. Eventually, you just kind of become okay with that. You could be wrong. But yeah, I'm anticipating Agent Open to give us a push. If it doesn't, then like I said, probably not going to do anything but stay in this little box. So we'll see. And then there was a question on the Zoom about if there's a pip target I have each day. The only target I have at the end of each session is being in the positive. So if I'm in the positive $3,000 or $100, that's good. If I managed my losses, my wins, I did my plan perfectly, it just didn't want to pay out like I anticipated. As long as I get some blue, that's all that matters. Or if it kicks some butt and I hit a nice 5-to-1 trade, awesome, it's in the blue. But that's all I look for is positive days. There's no, oh, there's 100 pips, okay, I'm done. I mean, it's just manage every trade every day. If you have a losing session, just come back the next session. Yep, see you later, Journey. What are you looking for, Gerjat?
Entry at the break of the, I was gonna say 15, but most likely it's gonna be the 30 because the 15 has no bottom wick.
Yep, that 30 minute looking like it's trying to close a little bullish.
Yeah, so once even if the 30 minute doesn't close bullish, the 15 minutes fine confirmation for me, so I'm gonna enter there.
Yep, hour losing our direction, 30 minutes, 4 hours. I believe the daily is also bearish right now too. So
yeah, that's one of the main reasons I'm more confident or comfortable taking at the 15 because the daily, like you were saying, that the retest to continue heading down. I would like it to create a top wick first on the hourly though.
Yeah.
Because stop loss right now is only like 5 pips, and that's obviously that's a really good stop loss, but I just don't want to get like wicked out with Asian volume.
Yep, just make sure you incorporate your stop loss with that hourly open.
Yep.
Because there's been times where we just dump, no top wick. We just go. Do you get in that or do you miss it? Or do you throw just a 10 pip stop and hope it doesn't get hit?
That's what I'm trying to figure out this week and the next couple of weeks because I've seen that happen too. And I don't know what I feel comfortable with as of right now. Because sometimes when it dumps like that, it comes right back up.
Yep, thanks Andy. Yeah, I love the desk, it's sick. I think we need some more likes. Almost 600 people. I think we can get up to 400 likes again. Just keep telling YouTube to promote the stream and then we can give some cool stuff away.
This-
Yeah, you've been quiet, bro.
I just came back. I had to leave for a quick second.
That was a long second, bro. It wasn't a quick second. You
Yeah, I
were
had to
gone for a
go.
minute.
I said I was gonna come before Asian Open. I had to go deal with a couple things. I was looking at entry once not this current hourly close, but the previous one. I was
Yeah.
gonna look for entry.
I think if we break that bullish hourly wick I was talking about right here, I think we'll see. Oh, there's 50 seconds. Yeah. If we break this wick here, I think we're going to see a push in these 50 seconds, down to here. But only if we get below here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm looking at a further target because like my entry is gonna be. Your entry is much better for that.
Oh, this will be a
Bring it
nice
down,
close. This will be a very nice close. If it closes below support, I will take execute a sell if we start breaking the lows.
Where do you have your support marks right now, Harrison?
So my support is at 132.840.
Okay. Yeah, I've got one there, and then I've kind of got a secondary wick fill of supports around the 820 mark. So I'm kind of waiting for a close below there to take sells, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't like this close. I wanted a bullish.
No, that's not a good close at all.
No, I want the opposite. I wanted a bullish close and then break below that because that's like a stronger confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if we break below 132.780, then maybe that would be a better entry point for me, because then I can have like a 10 pip stop for it.
2 hours made a lower low as well.
Game.
That last little push, 2 hour made a lower low. Just so you.
Yeah, I don't like the close. I don't like the close of that bearish candle.
Yeah, see with here, this is where I kind of have a trouble because I don't want to be buying the low and then it has to go up and create a lower high, then to continue heading further down.
I mean, this could go bullish. It could break up to the upside. We don't know. We're still ranging right now because we didn't break that level. And the way price is reacting, we're at support. So, but this support would I suppose be invalid if we came down and break the low of the 30.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I believe you mentioned before is this created the top wick before it created the bottom wick. So that's it's much better. Yeah.
Yeah, because then now we know, as we see as you're looking for execution, you can mark out in your head what's going on.
Damn, that was quick. That's what she said. 4 hours broke the previous low too, so not yet. Now it did. Nope.
Wow.
There we go. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm in this.
Beautiful.
Great. Wow.
Want this to continue going.
I'm about to get in if it breaks. 7, 8. Just need it to drop a little lower.
Yeah, I've got the same 780 mark.
Yeah, because if we should just push through that level if we're gonna drop.
Yeah, we broke that 4 hours, so I think this is kind of like that 4 hour rocket ship, which on the 30-minute when it does it, it has good volume. So I think this could have a really nice push down to that daily.
There's still a clean 10 pips after that 780 mark to that wick fill too, so that's kind of why I'm still waiting for that.
Hope you guys catch some pips. I'm not gonna overtrade. So.
Yeah, see, this is what I was worried. That's why I was looking below that 132.775.
Yep.
I have to see it push a bit further down. Is it retested on the 15? Oh no.
Yeah, I don't like it when he.
Yeah, it couldn't get past. It hasn't got past that wick on the left. If you look on the 15 minute.
So the 30 and the 15 is like a pip above the high right now. The previous candle was a pip above the current high, so still potential to come down, but
Yeah, no, for sure. I just right as it stands, it hasn't broken that wick yet. So
You waiting for this bullish wick right here?
yeah, I think if you look on the 15, it's
Yeah.
a bearish wick, but yeah, I think it's the yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then my end should be just a little bit lower than that, and then I think we're good.
So that'd be, if we get that, that would be
Man, my
10 pip
mine
stop
also
roughly.
put
Yeah, I
less
thought once
than-
we. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just less than a pip away from auto partial TP and auto BE.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought once we broke that 4 hour, we would see more of a move. We'll see.
And there you goes, hits my stop loss. Yeah, it's been fun trading. The main reason I got into this is if you look on the like to me, if you look on the 15-minute.
Yep.
When this candle, look at my MT4 looks slightly different, but when this candle first started, like the past 15 minutes all came up and stopped right here. It couldn't pass these couple wicks here, so I was kind of looking at that as like a kind of like a minor resistance to continue heading further down. And the fact that with Asian Open that it didn't break it to continue up, I was like, okay, like, and then it dumped back down. I was like, okay, we're gonna continue heading down. This came all the way back up.
Yeah, this is that kind of reversal that I've been
Oh,
kind of
wow.
back testing and watching. It likes to do this, the open.
Yeah, it's just unless this closes above, you know, like 133, 133.015, then I don't think you could predict that.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, I'm done for the session. I took the 1L before 1L now.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we were going down. We couldn't go down, so we'll see what happens.
I think we could go down after like another 30 minutes because it did the same thing yesterday. It broke that high that we were looking for on the 30-minute, like slightly, and then after that, I just continued down, and then it came back up one more time to do a wick, and then just continued down again.
The way I look at it is like the fact that this broke the low here, it shouldn't have even come all the way back up.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now that it is coming back up, like this could just be one of those sessions where we had yesterday. It comes up,
Yep.
wicks up high, comes down, wicks down low, and just ranges.
Yeah, because it's not
Yeah,
respecting
that-
highs and lows now, so that means ranging. Yep.
Yeah,
Huge.
and we might not have the bullish momentum again to push us up.
Yeah, I don't know if we have the bullish momentum to push through all that.
GG hasn't been fun lately, man.
Yeah, I closed 50%. I'm gonna leave this bit in, and it'll do what it does. So, but I'm not gonna look to re-enter. I'm not gonna. The fact that it dicked around twice like that, I'm just gonna call it a session on that.
It ranged for like 10, 15 hours yesterday. Like I'm looking up the hourly, looking
Yeah.
at the range yesterday.
Oh wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was.
disgusting.
Yeah.
That is ugly.
I thought with this break here that okay, like we're finally like kind of getting out of it with the daily close.
Mhm.
But the like I don't know what it's doing here. Clearly GG doesn't want to choose which way he wants to go.
I don't know if this really. I don't know if this is like substantiated comment because I'm a new trader, but
Guys, it will go back bearish.
Mhm.
Good.
It will go back.
Paul, could you go to the 15-minute? I want to point something out.
What you guys say is it's a liquidity grab, something you guys use the word, or fake out?
Possibly, it could be. It just looks not fun to trade, is what I would say.
As
So-
you know, it was a Japan Open session, so I had some feelings. So at the bottom of the week where it went, I closed my 66% and let the 35 run at the break even.
Nice.
So at least I recovered my loss, which I had in an earlier deal.
Mm-hmm.
So no profit, no loss. Good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna probably take the losing session, and that'll be that.
Dorian,
So-
I have a feeling what you're gonna say, but keep going.
Oh yeah. So what I've seen before with like this kind of price structure, where the 15-minute is just kind of like trickling down to support, or if 15-minute is kind of trickling up to resistance, like this, like I don't know. I've seen like this is like a pattern that occurs. I don't know. They have like a name for it, in, like one of the price action books or something, but it's like a descending wedge or something. I don't know. But when it kind of, if we're gonna break through the support, then shouldn't we see some more volume? Shouldn't we see like some larger candles? I don't know. This is hindsight, but it looks like we were due for like some sort of bullish movement, because we were just moving down so lightly and so I don't know. The price structure definitely looked like it was due, but the higher time frame looked like it could come down for sure.
I get what you mean. You're saying like this doesn't show momentum to continue heading down. Like the momentum was dying out. You're saying.
Yeah. I agree.
I think we all. I've noticed it too. Dorian, I know what you're talking about. I think the only thing with that, the reason why I kind of disregarded this was because we just had the surge of volume, where this was like before the open.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was like with the surge of volume, it was like, okay, like this at least head down 10 pips for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it definitely like kind of felt like that when you got that 1 minute candle just like shoot down like 5 pips or 6 pips or something. Yeah.
On that note, I'm gonna head up for today, guys. I took my 2 L's, and I'll be back tomorrow.
See you later, bro.
Peace.
Take it easy.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
closed
good.
this at like minus $100, so managed
I'm gonna
it well.
let this candle close, and then I'm gonna call it.
All the stop loss you took, I guess that would save you. I have a feeling it will go bearish again.
I do too, but it broke the hourly, and regardless of my stop loss being up here, my rule, I'm not rule, but this is considered ranging, so I'm just gonna get out. So I got out one
Oh, you
position.
got out.
Yeah, I closed one here, like minus a few hundred. Closed one here, minus like 70. So, not really concerned. I mean, it just didn't want to go anywhere. We tried to catch it going up, didn't want to go up. Tried to catch it going down, didn't want to go down. So, to me, it's in this kind of in this little area now.
I guess this whole week is a good shit.
Yeah, not glad I wasn't here yesterday. That looked. I mean, buys looked like they made sense, but I mean, sells made sense here,
Crap.
and then yeah, just a shit show. So yeah, hopefully it'll kind of push its way out later tonight, but that'll be it for my session. I'm not gonna try and force another trade in this area.
4 hour came back down as bearish as well.
Yeah, 4 hour broke below, so it made sense, but
I'm sure it's bearish.
yeah, it made perfect sense, but doesn't always move perfectly. So we will see. 2 hour too. Bearish 2 hour, broke the low. Maybe it was just making a top wick for the 2 hour, kind of like test this area to fully leave it. But it's dancing, so you don't want to be in that when it's happening, because that sounds like an emotional roller coaster.
I learned my lesson from yesterday though, so I'm probably just gonna leave this open with like a very small lot,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that's gonna come back down. Even yesterday, because we were ranging, I started to get skeptical about my buys and sells. I had like both of those analyses, pretty much, and like how it shot up yesterday.
Yeah.
That wick So I was even prepared for that before the session started. When I did my pre-trade analysis, I was like, all right, well, if it breaks past this, then I'm going to enter, take my partial, and then get out. But then I got skeptical about that. And then I was like, all right, well, if it breaks through the support, then I'll enter right there. But then I got skeptical about that too. So I kind of just learned my lesson yesterday from that.
Any trades yet today?
Yeah, we caught some buys, didn't work out, and then I jumped in sells based off of what the daily was looking like, and we pushed down, broke the lows, and then kind of tested resistance again, so I just closed it early. Yeah. Just not doing anything. It's not respecting highs and lows, so that means range, which means sit on my hands. So these three were good coming down. And then open was good, broke the low, and then it didn't like this area, so it pulled back up. I have a feeling, with the Chinese holiday, there could be a chance that we range, but regardless, I was going to give it a shot, and did not work out. There's a Wanda trading. I don't know. I haven't looked at a Wanda. The FXCM is pretty close, so that works for me. Yep. And candle closes. I feel less confident with candle closes. So if that's the case, we have this bearish candle close under support. Why did we go up? We have a bullish close above resistance. Why didn't we go up? So closes don't mean shit in my opinion, for what I like to see. If you like to wait for closes, then you wait for closes. You don't take my entries. That's all it is. But closes are not enough confirmation for me. Price needs to continue in that direction after a close, and that makes more sense to me. Because if that were the case, then bullish would mean support and bearish would mean resistance, and that just isn't always the case. Just like the highs and lows don't always play out, closes above and closes below don't always play out. It's the same thing. I just like price confirming more movement in that direction. Makes more sense for me.
Question.
Yo.
On the 30-minute, are you, like for buys, would you want the 30 to close above 133.012 or on the 1 hour to close above 132.977?
I think if it breaks this bearish candle here, it's gonna go up. But I'm done for the session. But I think maybe if it breaks here or closes above and then makes a new high, that way makes sense. But I just don't like anything it's doing. We tried going up, didn't work. We tried going down. It worked in the beginning. I mean, I was still up. I was over 1-to-1, but I was taking it to the daily. Yeah, so I was up 16 almost, risked about 10.
I'm going to say something funny.
And I just closed early.
If any candle which goes 100% out of that, like its bottom wick should be outside of that gold shit, then you should go buy for a sell.
Yep. Yeah, I think maybe a buy above here, but still I like sells better, or maybe a sell under this guy or this guy here would make sense. But the fact that Asian Open volume didn't really do that, I'm convinced that it's not going to do anything till London. Just building some volume. Yeah, I mean, it could be, and it could go down in the next 10 minutes, but took my 2 trades. I don't care what we do now.
How's your day off?
It's good, but somebody's playing music. Unless that's my music. Nope.
I think it's Gustavo.
Well, everyone gets muted then, because people don't know how to pay attention. If you're trading in the range, would you stop out and go the other way? Possibly, yeah. I mean, that's what I did at the top, because I preferred sells, but the buys fit the rules perfectly, and we had nice candles to the left and at least a 1-to-1 to here. So I took that one, and then we got in this one. Could have been a winner, but just Asian Open didn't do what was expected. So that's all.
So I was up, I think it was, let's see, 6%.
Yes.
Starting the day today for New York.
Mhm.
And I'm only up 0.5%. So I just gave back pretty much everything, but I'm still up on the week, and we still have 2 more days. So,
That's good.
shoot. Yeah. My goal is to have 3 green weeks in June. So I'm on pace to hit that. I just need to make sure this week is green. I'll hit my goal. But yeah, I'm making some changes to my rules right now, so that I can allow my trades to breathe a little bit more, and then for structure, like when I'm trading my setup in this kind of structure when it's inside of a range, like we were talking about.
D'accord. Inshallah.
I will be back.
This can close above 133.015, and then maybe have a little down wick and a retest of that resistance, and then clear that wick at 133.053. I'm going to look for buys.
Yeah, we got clean traffic on the 1 hour, so
Yeah, the 30's got one kind of wick there, but I could still consider that pretty clean. There was no wick at the top, so I think we'll blow past that.
yeah, and it looks like the structure on the 1 hour looks like we just kind of like dropped down to a level. Now we might come back up to those highs over there.
Yeah, so that 400 mark would be nice.
Yeah.
My TP is not going to be that high, but I like this close right now on the 30. They can close here, then dip back down, make the bottom wick at that 133 even range, and then I'm going to take the entry on the break of this current or the one to the left.
Yeah, if we end up closing up here on 30 minutes, I think that'll be a pretty good probability.
The only thing is my stops are kind of shit with the current 15 we're in right now.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good stuff.
That's the only issue with this trade. So I might just lower my lot size and go for 15 pips either way.
Mm-hmm.
Look for a break and retest and then take it up or take it down either way. Just to be sure.
Yeah, I won't enter if it retests and breaks down back into the range. I'm only going to be looking for buys here in this next 30-minute candle, and if we don't get it, that's a session for me with no trades.
Yeah, it'll probably be somewhere else by the time we get to New York session or London session anyway.
Yeah. Harrison, you got any buys mapped out at all?
No, I'm not gonna look to re-enter.
Did you already enter this session?
Yeah, I had a buy right before the live stream. Once price started breaking up above 133.010, I executed a buy with with the clean traffic to the left that we tap up into 133 100, but then as it started to come back down, I closed at -5 pips.
Okay. You're done for this session?
Yeah, I'm not. You like by this time, volume is starting to die down, and that's the mistake that I made yesterday. Was that candle, the breakout candle yesterday, was the move for us to. It's just it's probably going to do this. I think the same thing. I just don't think the buys are there.
I don't think anything's there.
No, I'm going to call it because otherwise you're just chasing something that's not going to happen. But it might do, but that's what I think.
Yeah, this late into the session, I wanted like a perfect candle to come down, retest that support, and then break, or else I'm not taking it.
Yeah, I mean, like, see, everything happened last night that I would ideally look for. Like, we got above the rejection wick that I was looking at. We closed above resistance. Then we broke the high. Like, everything was there.
Bless you.
Pardon me.
It did that today too.
Oh, my dear. Who done that today? Oh, what, in the daytime, you mean?
That buy we had earlier closed above.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, now that we're coming back up to this area, this could just be grabbing orders.
Yeah, I don't like it now.
No,
like that we couldn't go up or down.
Because we did the same thing yesterday. It shouldn't have the. I mean, it could tap into 133, 100, but I don't think we'll get above that.
Yeah, I mean, I knew with the Chinese holiday, I figured there's a chance we could range, but either way, I was gonna give it my 2 attempts and just manage them, and then we broke lows and then we broke highs and just ranging right now. So that's what I would consider a range. So what we were in when we closed above here and we broke that high, outside of the range, and then we started to come down. With the higher time frame, it made sense to fall down to like 132, 650, 600, maybe 700, this wick fill. But now that we're breaking the highs again with a lower low, this whole area is just poop, is what it is. So if I were to put zones on it, if I were to trade it, it would be like that and like this. Because we anticipated with the lower lows and lower highs into support that we break. We got it and we just came back up. We also anticipated higher highs, higher lows into and through resistance, and then we also had a close above and it just didn't do it. So I have a very good feeling that this is not going to do anything for GJ, but if it does, I don't really care. It can do whatever it wants to do, but yeah. So yeah, we broke that low and now we broke that high. So which way are we going? Maybe just a bigger top daily wick or ranging is what I think makes sense. Because yeah, this one had a lower high to this one as well. So it is what it is. Yeah, hourly looks meh. Because if you get above here, you run right into this. So there's not even any room to take a buy unless you bought down here and then you bought when everything was bearish, which I wouldn't think would be a good idea, but that's just me. The only thing that makes sense structure-wise is sells, because buys, you're just coming back into here. You might get back up to here, but you got to get through this area, and this seems pretty strong. And the daily was bearish, so kind of a chill session now. That's what I would say. Whoa. LMFX and FTMO. Apparently I missed your question a few times. Yeah, let's not do that again.
Yo,
Yo, bro.
what's good?
No, nothing.
How we looking tonight?
Done.
Yeah, I already took buys, and I am done. Oh wow, yeah, maybe this is gonna push to 133, 100.
Hour 4 looking bearish.
How many pips you grab?
Oh, I didn't get this move. This is the move we anticipated earlier.
Yeah, it didn't happen. And then we had expecting the sells. Broke 4-hour low. Daily made sense to come fill the wick, and it didn't.
Yeah, honestly, I think this candle is the move, and
Yep.
just gotta accept. It's time to call it.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, I mean, we tried with the rules, didn't play out. Just one of those times.
Yep.
Yeah, hour 4 looks bearish for what I'm seeing, Nicks, because before this candle, we broke the 4-hour low, and that would have been kind of our little rocket ship candle, breaking the high, breaking the low. Just seeing this break the high, this is probably going to end up closing bearish, in my opinion. Maybe not. 29 minutes left. Maybe not. But ideally, going into Asian or New York, when you get this weak close like this, it breaks above and comes back, and then breaks the low. It's normally a very good candle. Just today it was not, and I'm assuming these wicks maybe had something to do with it, but I don't really look to factor that in because what I'm looking at is this 30-minute and what's happening kind of right now, not here and here, because this right here would be clean traffic. So kind of just, it is, if it hits it, if those wicks do end up being a problem, then they are. But how do you repeat that then? So this made a low to this, so we have a lower low, lower high on the 4-hour with a bearish close. Makes sense to come down. We broke these 2 wicks and all of these, so we broke 4, 8, 16, 20 hours of wicks and lows. Then we get this weak close with kind of a higher low and a lower low, but still it just didn't really go anywhere. And then we get this candle also making sort of a higher low, as well as the daily being bearish, and then we get a new low. That signifies more sells. I mean, maybe we're gonna come retest here, but if that were the case, when we closed above here in the first place, why didn't we do that then? So this one, if it breaks above here, might see a little bit of a push up, but I am not a fan of what that 2 hours doing, because it did break the low and the high. 30 minutes left. I'd like to see where it closes, because if it just kind of peaks out here and rips back and closes bearish, kind of like this random bullish stuff came out of nowhere, I don't want to be a part of that. So just wait for New York session, it will be my plan. How long does it take to get consistent results? That depends on you. How consistent can you be? For me, it was get super simple, consistent rules that I can repeat every day with the least amount of exceptions, and I'll get there. And then I did that, and I got there. But it means following your plan, and when you take a full loss and a really small loss on the second trade, that means you don't go back in for a third attempt. If you can do that, maybe you can get consistent results. If you're going back in or even looking for a third trade, I feel like you have less of a chance to do that. Because these buys, they were perfect, textbook, didn't play out. Sells, a little riskier. Maybe I should have went break even, but I didn't. Oh well, I still minimized it a ton. And that is what it is. I'm good. Followed my plan. Losing session, gonna be a winning week, winning month. I'm not concerned with losing today. It just didn't play out, that's all. And I'm assuming we're gonna stay in this range Because typically, when I do have losing sessions, price ranges. So that is up to you. Gotta go have breakfast. Yep. See you later, elites. Yep, exactly. Yeah, and this does not. This bullish candle does not convince me of anything. Yep. Yeah. So I'm up for the week, and the month. So today, if we lose today, that doesn't mean at the end of the month I lose, or the end of the week I lose. So gotta remember that stuff when you take those losses. You can't get mad at the market and be like, oh, where's this candle shouldn't have happened. It's trying to get me. Well, the candle did happen, so not that it couldn't. It already did. It did happen. And you just gotta accept that. Sometimes candles and the market does what it wants. Most of the time, it's going to respect previous 30-minute, 1-hour candles, highs and lows, stuff like that. And when it doesn't, that's when you need to, if you get taken out like we did, got kind of just ripped up, took us out real quick, you just need to recognize, like, the market's not moving, very politely, I'm going to wait till it is. And then you just wait till it's kind of moving a little better. And then you capitalize when it is, and you minimize this over trading when it's not. That's really all you got to do. Is when you see it moving, like I like to say, not nice, just take less trades. So if you normally take 3 trades when it's moving nice, take 1 or 2 when it's not, and I bet you start making money. Just stupid little things like that is, I mean, trading is not, it's not hard. And you got to accept that you're going to lose. And then when you do that, and you take your losses, you don't ruin your wins that you had earlier in the week.
Yeah, it's like what happened to me today.
Yep.
Like, my account really wants it. Like, it was growing. Like, it was wanting to grow, and it grew. It grew up to 6% over 2 days, over 6 sessions. And then today comes around, and the only reason why my account went down today, well, not the only reason, but, you know, I could have reduced the amount of percent that my account went down by not over trading. I placed 2 over trades today. So if I hadn't placed those 2 over trades, then I would still be up about 3%. And so really, if my account is going to grow, then I have to control myself. I have to be disciplined, and I have to honor those words that are on my Word document on my computer. I have to honor those words that say, okay, you take a loss. Okay, you try to re-enter. You take another loss. Okay, you're done for the session. All right. You have to be disciplined, and your account can grow. But if you're not disciplined, then your account is not going to grow. Just like Paul is saying, like, just walk away when you're done. When it's not going your way, because tomorrow could easily go your way.
And then you're not trying to recover what you messed up the previous day. You're just continuing on growing, versus like what you did today. Tonight you kind of got to get that back, and then you get back to where you were, and then you continue. Versus if you didn't take those extra 2, you probably have an extra 1 or 2% in your account right now. And if you minimize that, then you can start to maximize the wins. Because if you think about it over the course of a month, if 2 times a week you take 2 extra trades you're not supposed to, that's 8 extra trades a month, right? Yeah, 2, 4, yeah, that's 8 extra trades a month. That's 8% you just gave away that you didn't have to. So then that's 8% you're making back before you get above that to get into profit or get more profit. So it's not just, oh, I just overtraded these 2 days. Well, if you do that twice a week, that's really hurting your account. I mean, if you do it once a month, once every couple weeks, where it's like you just take that 1 extra trade it doesn't play out, whatever, you close the chart, you step away. You'll probably get away with that. But if you're pumping 2-3 extra trades every single week that you're not supposed to take, over the course of a month, 4 months, 6 months, that's a lot of money you're giving away.
Yeah, that you don't have to give away. It's just, I mean, you're really just sabotaging your account, sabotaging yourself, and it's not fun at that point. It's really not fun at all. I mean, seeing your account grow it's enjoyable. It's like, wow, after all this work, after all this time I put into the charts, after, you know, it's you know, and you see it kind of come into fruition, and then by overtrading, it's just like, it's just no fun. It's not enjoyable. It takes the fun out of it, takes the satisfaction out of it, takes the enjoyment out of it. And so it's just really worth it to be disciplined, really worth it to, you know, keep persevering, because we will get there one day. And you just have to have that attitude. And just right now, I'm just making some tweaks to my plan. So, and I'm working on my discipline outside of trading. Like, for example, I do a few different things every single day, just to work on my discipline. Whether it's push-ups or whether it's writing a small paragraph, what happened to GJ today. You know, it's small things like that. Just, and what else? I don't know. You know, always folding your laundry right after it comes out of the washer or dryer, whatever, you know, right away. You're just doing something every single day at the same time. It's going to build your discipline in trading as well.
Yeah, because if you're not practicing any discipline anywhere, how can you expect to have it in trading if you don't have it anywhere in your life? So that's why, like I always say, going to the gym or dieting or doing something. Structure in your life will help you keep structure in trading, from my experience.
Boys, I'm off.
Hi, bro.
Thanks, we'll appreciate it, yeah?
Yep.
AOH.
Yeah, see you later, boys.
See you tomorrow. Yeah, Sandro, I don't know how to buy words. Apparently Rakeel owns those words. So he'll probably be suing me for using the words that he owns in the dictionary. I didn't know you could do that, so. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, everyone, anything you ever say, someone's probably said it at some point. So, I'm not sure how that statement would make any sense whatsoever. My mentor was Wicks Don't Lie. And I soaked up everything he taught me like a sponge, so. So I will never deny that or say I did this without any help, because that is false. But you also need to remember Rakeel didn't, like, I want to say this correctly, he told me to be disciplined. He didn't make me make the decision to actually do it and put it into action. You still have to do that. So when someone teaches you something, they can't physically force you to do it. You have to still do it. And you're going to have your own experiences doing that. So that's the thing with a mentor. They're not just going to, you don't just get a mentor and then poof, you're at your goal. You did it. It was super easy. You still have to go do it. They're just going to maybe help you get through some of the unnecessary stuff you don't really need to worry about. And I wonder how those buys were working out. It looks like we're still stuck in this area. Price doesn't want to leave. So hopefully those buys were managed. Yep, wash dry, put it away. Every letter's been said. Yep. And there's always going to be a different perspective, and maybe that perspective you relate to. So regardless if someone said it or not, maybe that person you just didn't click with. So what they said didn't click and make sense, but then some meathead on the internet told you a fitness analogy and it made sense. I mean, you never know. People learn all sorts of ways. Yeah, that's what I was saying. If we weren't going down when this move happened, we weren't going anywhere. So that's why I was not. This bullish candle did not signify a single thing. Yeah, GJ, I think it's probably going to wait for London because of that Chinese holiday. It just didn't have that normal volume it would have had the previous days. Not yesterday, but like normal days. 90% of the time, 80% of the time, I would say normally at open, whichever way you break on the hourly candle is where you go for 10, probably 20, 30 pips. And as you can see, we didn't go anywhere here. Yep.
Man, I really want to take a sell based on like if the 30-minute close the way it's closing now, but I know the smarter thing to do is to wait for the hour to let's say the hour close bullish. If it breaks the low of that, I'd like a
that would
safer.
be beautiful.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna play it safe and smart and wait for that hourly low to break.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we would have left our stop loss up here, that would have got hit. So it didn't respect anything. Solomon was the wisest.
Yeah, well, I was in that same sell, but I went break even as soon as it hit 10 pips. So I had one order secured and the other one stopped out of break even.
Gotcha. How long did it take to create my trading plan and strategy? Well, Rakil helped me give me an idea on support and resistance and reading candles, and then I just I used to enter at the close of candles and it never really worked for me. I didn't like it, and then I started doing highs and lows of candles, and whatever reason I just felt super good in those trades, and wins or losses I felt fine. There was no bad emotions or anything, or it felt good to be in that trade regardless of how the candle was moving, whether it was against me or with me. And then I just kept doing it, and eventually you just get tired of losing. I think after you lose so many times after just not following your plan or taking the trade off of your plan and then not taking the trade on your plan and watching that one work every time, you do that for enough times, you're gonna start to follow your plan. You just gotta keep doing it enough. Honestly, it sounds corny. It sounds like there's some secret formula, but just show up every day, do the same thing. Eventually, you're gonna figure it out. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, you need to know highs and lows and bullish, bearish, and higher time frame stuff, but that just comes with experience. After you look at the daily, if you look at the daily candles, Monday through Friday, from let's say 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., you look at the daily candles for a month, and then you have another person who does the same thing, but they look at it for a year, they're going to see it differently, even though it's the same thing. So eventually your trading plan, your style, it's going to evolve over time, and you're going to just figure out what makes sense to you, and that's going to be what works for you. So I mean, my strategy from when I first started to now, I mean, I can trade without zones. I don't even need zones. I can just look at a couple candles, look at the 2 hour, the 4 hour, say, okay, I'm going to take a buy here. I don't care what's to the left. If it makes a high, we're going up. And that's it. With the old me, my chart would have looked like, I would have probably started on the 4 hour when I first started and went, okay, we have resistance here. We have maybe some support here. Maybe it's going to be resistance. And then I would have said, oh, we have all these wicks. Maybe we have something in here. Okay, so we got our 4 hour mapped out. Daily, bearish. So it's on, and mind you, I'm not looking at anything else. We're bearish. Got resistance there, so maybe we'll put a line here so I know that there's daily resistance there, and then daily support here. All right, what does the 1 hour look like? 1 hour, so this line is daily resistance. So 1 hour, we got some resistance up here, it looks like. And then we got this up here. So maybe there's a nice trade from there to there, from here to here. Maybe that's a nice trade. And then maybe some hourly support kind of right here. Maybe a little target right there. We got this one mapped out, so we're good. 30 minute. Looks like 30 minutes got a little bit of a resistance here that we're kind of above, making highs. And then we got this right at the daily, so we'll just mark this so we see that on the 30. So this is how I used to tried to trade, and this is why it didn't work, because at this zone here, am I buying or selling? At this zone, am I buying or selling? What has to happen here for me to buy or sell? What has to happen here to buy or sell? And then where do I take it? Do I take it to here? Do I take it to here? Do I take it to this daily resistance? Do I take it to here? Do I take it to here? Same thing here. Am I selling up here in these wicks, or am I buying to take it up here? What am I doing at this zone? Same thing here. Am I doing anything at this zone or this zone? Or is this even a zone? This doesn't even look like anything visual worth looking at. Kind of thing. So trying to trade from this was just a mess, honestly. So I got rid of all the nonsense, and I said, we're making highs or lows on the daily, making highs or lows on the 4 hour and 2 hour. What are we doing right now? Where's the 30 minute at? Okay, so looks like 2 hours kind of in a mess, so maybe something above here makes sense to go up to here. And that was it, just here. Okay, so this is kind of this wick here, also here. So if we can get above here, maybe any highs we make up here that we reject and come bearish, if we break above that, probably head up to here. And then we got support here, maybe a target down here, and that was it. So now we're looking at the candles now. We know where these zones are, but honestly, I mean, we don't even really need them. We see that there's rejection up here. So if this is rejection, we should start to make lower highs like we did here and come down, but we're making higher highs and higher lows. So if this 30 minute closes bullish and makes a new high and a higher low, price is probably going to go up, because price makes higher lows and higher highs, goes up. If it doesn't, it comes down. And if we look at how many times, I mean, today and yesterday, clearly it did it a lot, where it went up and just dicked everyone around. So that would have just been one of those days where it went up, made a high, made another high, you enter, you get stopped out. Maybe give it one more try, made a high, maybe hit TP and went break even, got stopped out. So there's going to be a few days where stuff like that happens. You get a new high, comes back, stops you out. But majority of the time, these highs and lows will be respected. So if you can identify when it moves like crap and just stop trading till it moves better, you're going to have less mistakes here, and then these wins here will kind of make more sense. They'll mean more, not make more sense, but just, I mean, it's simple, honestly. If a candle makes a high to a previous, it has a better chance to keep going up than come down. Because if it didn't, it wouldn't have made a high. And if it comes down, then it's probably going to stop. It's not going to move nice. So the simpler the better. Do you trade supply and demand zones too? I mean, I use support and resistance. I don't classify them supply or demand, but I like to look at individual candlesticks and just, they're making higher highs, higher lows. Once we get confirmation of a new high, with a good target, then I get in, and that's it. Same thing going down. But you really don't need to send a billion messages at a time. Yeah, your headphones are shot. Sound is perfect. Yeah. So you see, if you were in this buy when this broke above here, how did your emotions feel when this bearish candle closed? You probably felt like your stop loss was about to get hit. So maybe not a trade you want to repeat, because juggling those emotions, do you close, do you not close, do you minimize? Okay, you minimized, now it's going in your direction. Now are you mad that you closed and it went in your direction? Just stuff like that is what you need to pay attention to and try to get rid of. So when it disrespects highs and lows, it's probably going to continue doing it. And then the session timing at open, typically Asian Open, Tokyo Open, you could say, whichever hourly direction you break high or low to the previous hourly is where you go. You need to do more analysis than that, but typically if that's all you did, you could probably win an Asian session just by doing that, honestly. But when it stops doing that, then you're going to get candles that do this. You're going to get a bearish close, a break of all the highs yet again, like this one did, and then it's going to pull back in. And then how do you manage your emotions when that's happening? It's going to be a roller coaster. So thanks, DJ. Appreciate it. Just sharing what I've gone through. I mean, what I've gone through, what I've learned. Hopefully help a few people on the way.
You a G, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but thank you. But I mean, we've been doing this for 6 months or so now. You guys have seen my strategy evolve and my discipline and my mindset. Everything's kind of consistently improved, and we've done all of it live. I mean, from the words I say to the trades I do, when I call it a day, everything keeps evolving and getting better. And I try something new and then it doesn't work out. So then I go back to what was working and kind of tweak that. So that's kind of, you just got to figure out what works, and eventually something's going to work. Just don't lose all your capital while you're trying to figure it out, is what I would say. Yeah, killer. I mean, that's honest. Like, you honestly could do that, but I'm not going to recommend it and say you should. But I think you could. Yeah. I mean, I'd say I'm still kind of new. I mean, I think I've either hit or just hit or maybe a little past my 2-year mark, but I've also been very obsessive for 2 years, every single day, and weekends doing it. So you got to remember that too. Plus, I have a disciplined and consistent background, so I already had pretty good basis on that skill. I just needed to learn it with money. So if you don't have any discipline or any consistency or structure in your life, not regarding trading at all, trying to learn that in trading could be difficult in the beginning. So you got to stay patient and just figure something out so you can build that skill. Nope. Am I super profitable yet? I don't know what you consider super. I would say I'm very comfy. 100 lots on 100. Yeah. I don't know about all that. Nope, I'm not entering anything again. None of this looks like fun. Every trade looks stressful and something I don't want to be a part of. Yep. Yeah, Bauer, anyone can talk about it. You can talk about anything you want, but you gotta actually do it. You can say you're gonna go to the gym 6 days a week, but if you're still 200 pounds and overweight, you're clearly not going to the gym. If you said you were going to. Yep. Yeah. So I talked about it in that podcast with Cam Hawkins of Trading Nut. If you haven't checked it out, if you do struggle with discipline and consistency on the charts, I made a suggestion that maybe someone should start trying to go to the gym or incorporate some sort of diet or meal plan they follow, or just some sort of structure. Like you get up every day at 5 a.m., you go for a walk, or you get up, you make breakfast, and you have coffee. Do that every day, and just anything to build that skill. And then eventually, when you do that long enough, you're gonna come to the charts, and you're gonna see a trade you're not supposed to take. And you're like, you know what? I've been up at 5 a.m. every day, and I made my coffee and ate my breakfast. I'm not gonna take this trade because I know I'm not supposed to do it. And then the next day, you can be like, yep, I missed that trade last time, and it was just awful. I would have lost. So I'm going to skip this trade again and wait for a better one. And eventually you just kind of build on top of everything. Thanks, Mary. Appreciate it. I don't even know. A year ago, I mean, I took it full time, like a year, once I got to a year. And then things just kind of gradually got better and better and better and better. It was just the consistency. Yeah, exactly. I mean, just like June said, gotta be difficult. And no, I started with I was an Uber driver with no savings, so I did not have a lot of capital when I started. Yeah, also I would just check the interview out. There was some good stuff in it. Cam had some good questions and covered a lot. It was fun. Coffee is life. So here, hopefully this will happen right here. We have this weak bullish close. It's a weak close, so that should mean maybe the bears are starting to take over. But if we break above and make a higher high to this weak bullish close, what is to say that we don't continue up? Because if this weak bullish close, even though it made a higher high and higher low, it closed really weak. So maybe you're like, it's a weak close, I'm gonna wait for a stronger one. This thing breaks above and flies up to your target. Now you didn't even get a trade. You planned it, but you didn't get it because you didn't read the candles properly. So if this weak close means price is coming down, we should stay under this top wick right here, and we should break this low here. That would make sense if we're coming down. So now maybe just wait, see what happens. If we break above, we should go up, but then you need to look. Maybe we run into an issue here. Maybe we get up to here because we have clean candles to the left. So, something to pay attention to. Plus hourly closed above everything, so this would be a new hourly high. But we got this area here, so you're kind of coming into a mess. But with what's to the left and this making a higher high, I think it does make sense that we push up. Just where is the question? So even though it makes sense, because the target is kind of, maybe it's here. Maybe this is where it pushes up to and stops and turns around. Maybe it's here or here. So if it's worth it to take it to here, in terms of what you're risking to what you're gaining. So right now you'd be risking about 6 pips. You could bounce in 3 pips. I think you're going to go up to here. So 6 pips for 10 pips, secure something, go break even. And see what happens. If the risk is worth the reward, then take it, if it makes sense. Because there's going to be risk on every trade, so you can't say, oh, that trade's more risky than what I like to take. No, every trade is risky. And one trade's not more risky than the other. It's going to have risk no matter what, but the reward needs to be worth it. So you see how we kind of had that little spike off of kind of this area, maybe that is where we're going to react, but we don't. You can guess and analyze, like, okay, maybe we bounce here, maybe we bounce here, but which one are you going to bounce at? So I mean, yeah, I'm really happy with where I'm at. I got lucky with the people I was surrounded by, so that really sped up my learning curve. Having Rakeel, Ted, and Monty, and Rakeel talking to him daily, and him messaging me daily on things I did crappy or things I did good, always trying to make me better in literally every aspect, pushed me. Plus, I had a disciplined background, so it wasn't as hard for me as someone that has no structure. Nope, I have no idea. If your spread's not normal yet, you need a new broker. My spread was normal 3 hours ago, so that's perfect, Jason. Yep, yeah, I think when I started it was, I mean, it's all in the interview, but it was not a lot. I was Ubering and in school, and I mean, you're not supposed to have a lot of money at that point. But yeah, I think if the things we talked about earlier, discipline, structure, just start doing something in your life that gives you one of those two, preferably both. Probably both will. If you do one, you'll probably get the other regardless. And just try to do that, and eventually you're going to start to notice that your discipline gets better on the charts too. I mean, because it'd be like, you could say like a basketball player. If you played basketball all through high school and college, and then you stop playing for 10 years, then you come back, you're probably still going to have a little bit of skill. If you know how to shoot the ball, you know how to dribble, you know how to judge distance and arc and how much power you need on the ball. If you've never shot a basketball, you're going to have no clue. So it's the same thing. If you have discipline and you know how to follow rules on the chart, you're going to come to the chart and you're like, I took my 2 losses. That means I'm supposed to be done. I'm going to be done. You have that built up. So it's kind of the same thing. If the other analogies didn't make sense, hopefully that one did. I mean, it's just a skill. You just have to learn it. That's all it is. Vantage FX, yeah, I don't use them, so I'm not sure. Yeah, 100% con. That's exactly what I did. Only tweak if you need to. Yep, I agree, Sharma. 133, 150 to come down would make sense. Anything up here, I think sells are going to be better. How do I get my screen to broadcast with the custom border? Oh, so that's just in Streamlabs OBS. I found a theme. It's like a, if you have the app, you'll know what I say when I say themes. And then you just kind of pick one you want. So I picked one I want, and I deleted stuff and customized it so it looked how I wanted, and I just saved it and used it. Kirby, you just go to the website in the middle of the screen, join subscription or mentorship, and you can get into the Zoom call, and then you have access to chat. So this candle's clearly pushing up. You probably could have came close to 1-to-1 already, and that seemed pretty stress-free to me. Obviously with what's to the left, maybe there's an issue coming up, but candle to candle, stop loss to target. Let's measure and see where we're at. About 6.6, up about 4.5. So I mean, a couple more pips up, you can secure 80%, go break even, and then you had a winning trade. And all you did was look at this candle here, and you said, well, we have a weak bullish close. And if it's weak, we should be coming down. But we went up, so we made support and we went up. That's all. Yeah, so that might have actually just hit that 1-to-1 we were just trying to measure out. Yep, 6.3. I mean, let's say spread, we're almost 1-to-1. We're like a pip away. Say, let's just round up to 7. Say if we hit 7, be a nice 1-to-1, but maybe you're already risk-free because you're so close to 1-to-1. All depends how you want to manage that trade. Yep, 1-2 pairs, depends on the person. 1 pair works best for me. I have people in the group who can trade an unlimited amount of pairs, and they're just that disciplined that they can handle it. But I've always been told that less is more from Raquel, my bodybuilding coach. So it's pretty engraved in my brain. Nope, no divergence. What you see on the screen is what I look at. That's it. Yep. Nice job, June. See you tomorrow. Nope, no divergence. Gotta turn your sound up. Already answered you. But probably be calling it a night soon. It is 8:12, yeah. Got 2 more days for the week. If you're in blue, don't ruin it trying to catch something stupid.
Yeah, I want to make these last 2 days good days.
Yep.
Discipline days. Because that's how my account grew. That's the only way my account is going to grow. And I want my account to grow.
Yep, exactly. And you know what you're doing. I mean, your analysis I've seen is spot on. It's just that one mess up you had today kind of put you a little behind today. So I still think you're fine for the week. Could have just been more. So next week, when you get that urge, just got to remember you could have made more money last week, but because you did this, what you're about to do, and then maybe you won't do it. Why'd I choose GJ? I actually chose GU first, and then it just was really difficult to trade for me. And then when I switched fully only to GJ, whatever reason, everything I was doing was working. So I think it was just the fact that when I was looking at GU, I probably didn't have the understanding I have now, but GJ is just a baby, so the way I trade, it works really, really well and consistently, and even if I start absolutely horrible, GJ makes it up to me by the end of the week, so no reason to change, so no reason to look at a new pair. Yep, nice job, Max. Yeah, New York looked a little messy from what I'm looking at right now, and that blue stripe on the chart is New York session for me. I think it's 5:30, maybe it's on 4:30. What is that? Yeah, so 5 a.m. till about 9 a.m. is that New York session I look at. Does not look fun. I mean, maybe some early buys, but just looks like a lot of nonsense. Asian, I was told, was crap, so that doesn't look like, I mean, maybe early buys or, yeah, I don't even know. That doesn't look great. Not looking super great. But, I mean, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday were pretty nice. Yep. See you tomorrow, Yen.
Yeah, my my direction today was never wrong. The price always moved into the direction that I anticipated.
Yeah.
But it's about how to, like, where to get in and where to place your stop loss and when to get out is something that I'm trying to more understand it better. An exit that suits my personality, stop loss that suits my personality, and so it's just gonna take some time and more experience, and just continuing to tweak my rules, based on my experiences every single day, every other day, whatever it is. So, yeah, I mean, if it's just a little bit more patience,
I was listening your analysis very carefully, and in this candle I took a deal and sold. So end of the day I'm in profit. So thank you very much.
Nice.
Done for the day.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, yeah, so the gray zone and the blue zone is when I'm at the charts. So when I look back on what happened previously, I know where to look. So anywhere that's highlighted with that blue or gray zone, I know I was probably at the chart, and that's probably what I want to pay attention to. time is it? 8:18. All right. So no more trades. Obviously, we gave it 2 tries. I'll mark those up later. And then we will be back for last session of the week tomorrow. So I will see everyone tomorrow at 5:30ish, normal time.